Hypothesis. What is hypothesis? Hypothesis may be defined as a proposition or a set of propositions set forth as an explanation for the occurrence of some specified group of phenomena, either asserted merely as a provincial conjecture to guide some investigation in the light of established fact. A research hypothesis is quite often a predictive statement which is capable of being tested using scientific methods that involve an independent and some dependent variables. For instance, the following statements may be considered. Students who take tuition perform better than the others who do not receive tuition. Or the female students perform as well as the male students. These two statements are hypotheses that can be objectively verified and tested. Thus, they indicate that a hypothesis states what one is looking for. Besides, it is a proposition that can be put to test in order to examine its validity. What are the characteristics of hypothesis? A hypothesis must be precise and clear. If it is not precise and clear, then the inferences drawn on its basis would not be reliable. A hypothesis must be capable of put to test. Quite often, the research programs fail owing to its incapability of being subject to testing for validity. Therefore, some prior study may be conducted by the researcher in order to make a hypothesis testable. A hypothesis is tested if other deductions can be made from it, which in turn can be confirmed or disproved by observation. Then, a hypothesis must state a relationship between two variables in case of relational hypothesis. A hypothesis must be specific and limited in scope. This is because a simpler hypothesis generally would be easier to test for the researcher, and therefore he or she must formulate such hypothesis. Then, as far as possible, a hypothesis must be stated in simplest language so as to make it understood by all concerned. However, it should be noted that simplicity of a hypothesis is not related to its significance. Then, a hypothesis must be consistent and derived from the most known facts. In other words, it should be consistent with a substantial body of established fact. That is, it must be in the form of a statement which is most likely to occur. Then, a hypothesis must be amenable to testing within a stipulated or reasonable period of time. No matter how excellent a hypothesis is, a researcher should not use if it cannot be tested within a given period of time, as no one can afford to spend a lifetime on collecting data to test it. Then, a hypothesis should state the fact that give rise to the necessity of looking for an explanation. This is to say that by using the hypothesis and other known and accepted generalization, a researcher must be able to derive the original problem condition. Therefore, a hypothesis should explain what it actually wants to explain, and for this, it should also have an empirical reference. Thank you.